All right. Hi, everyone. Jeff here from Cryptocurrency Investing. I'm here with Simon Yu, CEO of Storm Token. Thanks for coming on, Simon.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jeff.
For sure. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and your involvement with Storm Token?
Yeah, so I'm the CEO of Storm. So we've actually been around for about 3 years. We started out with a small application called BitMaker, and it was really interesting. We've been rewarding users free Bitcoin and Ethereum for basically trying new products and services. So imagine you're willing to try Uber for the first time. We'll give you 20 something dollars worth of Bitcoin and Ether. And since we weren't asking people for crypto, it became a really popular app and just kind of grew organically without us spending in marketing. And we've gotten exposure across 187 countries with over 1.3 million downloads. And we're about to tap into this job marketplace, so our users will be able to earn even more through utilizing the blockchain and cryptocurrency.
That's really exciting. So you guys have already been around, even though that you're about to be launching an ICO actually currently happening. That's correct?
Yes, absolutely. So this is, I think, what makes us really interesting because of the fact that we've already been facilitating microtransactions for the past 3 years. There's definitely a lot of kinks that you got to work with blockchain. You can't just hit the Ethereum network every single time. So we learned how to maximize the efficiency to really be able to send out payments efficiently so the users benefit as well as not disrupting the Ethereum blockchain at all.
Right on. And so I read that you guys have currently, it's around 250,000 monthly users. That's right?
Yeah, a little bit more now, but yeah.
So right on. So that's like quite a sizable amount. So the question is, like, why the ICO for a Storm token?
Yeah, so we saw a big opportunity. So one, we bootstrapped our way. So we actually just grew the company to this point with our own internal revenues and a small angel round, including the angel investors. We have Bill Shahara, the CEO of Bittrex, and a couple of other notable blockchain investors in there. But most of it, we've actually just been signing clients, and we have very interesting products on the app currently. We have like Final Fantasy, we have Hulu, DraftKings, we have Uber, we have hundreds of more products all around the world. But what we realized why the users kept coming to us was because they like the ability to earn. And in fact, when we first started in 2014, Bitcoin was so focused around Mt. Gox and Silk Road that the general public thought it was just a scam, it was a money laundering tool, or just like a drug smuggling. But when we offered like, hey, you don't have to risk your money buying Bitcoin, we just want you to check out how cool it is. And then we basically offered free cryptocurrency, and a lot of people, really like that fact. But with advertising, there is sort of a limitation. It's like if you go to Costco, and you have a couple of samples for food, and if you try the samples and you're done, there's not much more that you can do, right? So
Right.
yeah, kind of in a similar way. You check out Hulu, you check out Uber, and then like, what do I do next? I still want to earn more money, but where can I go afterwards? So for us, is we saw this big opportunity where there's Upwork and Fiverr and Mechanical Turk and all of these freelance and Mechanical Turk, like machine learning jobs, are becoming more popular around the world as everyone is getting more digital. In fact, 40% of the workforce will have some kind of part or full-time job by 2020. And if you factor in the 7 billion people around the world that also doesn't have access to jobs outside of their own country, we're going into a new shift in technology. The problem with the traditional online job marketplace is they use fiat currency. And the fiat currencies sometimes charge up to 40 to 50% if you're trying to handle a $1 to $5 transaction because of PayPal, wire transfer fees, ACH transfer fees, foreign transaction fees. And my background, having come from a bank, I've seen how much fees generate just from an internal bank ledger standpoint, and it's in the billions, and if you factor in all the external stuff, it's all in the trillions. So the payment hasn't caught up to how awesome this technology is, and this is where we're trying to expand into a much bigger place, so we can help the users benefit by allowing them to work or hire and not take the crazy amount of fees from banks.
For sure. Yeah. So this is going to eliminate fees from, 30 to 40% to around like 1% or even less, right?
Yes.
And on top of that, like I'm sure, banks and withdrawing from fiat or any of these middlemen, like this takes a lot of time. And so this is an issue that Storm Token is looking to solve as well. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right on. So essentially, so you have like the Fivers and the Upworks, and these are not blockchain based applications at all. And Storm Token's coming in, at least on this side, on the Storm Gigs factor, because you guys do have 3 separate categories, and really like leveling that up and essentially removing the middleman and upgrading the system.
Yes.
So are there any other essentially blockchain companies or corporations that are working in tandem or in competition with Storm Token right now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure you know as well too. There's a bunch of these crowd sale companies coming out. There's like 50 a day. It seems like at this point. There's always competition, but at the end of the day, with social media, there was Facebook and MySpace and all these companies as well. At the end of the day, it's always about execution. Who can execute the best? Who can find product market fit? Who can grow this to as many users as possible, and who can make this design as simple as possible so that anybody can use it. And if you actually read our white paper, and a lot of our focus is really on gamification. And so the layer that we're trying to add to this job place is the gamification portion. So, I mean, a lot of us in our team are millennials. We grew up playing games like Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft. And we have 3 really excellent game advisors. So we have Tom Bollock, who is the founding CTO or the studio CTO of Zynga. We have Dr. Hernan, who is chief strategist for League of Legends, and we also have Damon Daniele, who founded Xbox Live. And so these guys help us.
Those are some heavy hitters in the gamification.
Yeah, exactly. So we learned a lot from them, and we will continue learning from a lot from them. And a lot of the game mechanics has to do with math, has to do with when to make the flashing lights come on, when to reward the users, when to make people level up and experience points and how difficult it is. And it's all about helping people experience the journey and helping people really feel like they're having fun while they're doing some kind of objective request. So if you look
so not even that they're just earning the cash and through the microtransactions, but there's also like tangible levels up and things that like also make them feel good and like give it a little bit of flair as well, rather than just the capital, which is going to be like the foundation of it all. Correct?
Exactly. So I mean, if you look at like Final Fantasy, for example, they ask you to kill 200 monsters and you grind on this mission for 2 hours. At the end of the day, like you might level up and get some experience points, but you get fake gold or fake sword. It doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. However, it makes you feel stronger, but the whole experience was fun because you were killing monsters and you were constantly leveling up. And so you put this focus, but instead of a fake gold or fake sword, what if you can give people real money or something that's tangible that they can spend? And this is a whole new level of how we would picture jobs and these short-term jobs or skilled jobs or anything, because now we have so much creativity. Let's say I'm a back-end developer and I can keep leveling up my back-end development skills because I'm level 1 and I'm level 5 because I do more tasks. I'm level 10. And now all of a sudden, because my level is higher, I have more credibility. I can also charge people more because people know that I'm a credible high-level user. Just like World of Warcraft, if you're level 60, for example, this guy's badass.
That's right.
Yeah, so same thing. And then you can have your own skill sets based on what you're personally good at. So if you're good at back-end development, you're also good at design, and you're also good at lawn mowing. I don't know. Like you could do whatever you want.
So you'll have all your little skill points and you can see the level up sliders going. So not only are you incentivized monetarily, but you're incentivized because you want to get that slider to the end.
Exactly. So it'll be fun for the users. And as they level up, they'll be able to mark up their services because they're more credible. And just, the users will also be able to trust people based on their levels as well too. So it's
right on. Nice. So one of the things that I saw in the white paper that I want to get to in a second was the action loops and how that ties into what we're talking about here. But first, I just want to ask on, so where is this funding coming from? So people getting paid, is that coming from, say, like the Uber who's paying you to click, or the user who's paying other users to, say, do graphic design or whatever it be? Where is the funding coming from?
Yeah, so it comes from both. So we already have a B2B platform already established. So we have all these companies that are already paying us, except we're right now buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, and we're rewarding users with that cryptocurrency. However, for us, it will be evolved into Storm tokens. So we
Hmm.
already have this existing kind of businesses that are already purchasing or will be on the buy side of the tokens. And the next step that we're building is allowing the consumers to hire people and be able to create their own tasks as well too. So then it comes from businesses, it comes from users, and on the supply side, also businesses and users can use to hire as well too. So
Okay, so then just to clarify, is a Storm token sending any of their, say, like continually mined coins to pay out the users, or this is all coming from like people purchase the coins and then that's what's paid out to the user?
yeah, so everything is purchased on the market rate. So
Yeah.
and then those are paid to the users. So that keeps things. So I mean, the pre-mined coins that we have on our team for marketing purposes will be for user growth and for other purposes. But for the basic function will remain as how um, we've been doing it for the past 3 years, which was to purchase the crypto when we send it out. And
Hmm.
so
Right on. So you're not like inflating the market at all. It's just very much like in, out, and it stays consistent.
yeah, exactly. So.
Right on. And so what is the layout for the tokens then? Is it a full 100% pre-mine, or how is that going to work for Storm?
Yeah, so it was 100% pre-mined. So I think right now in this stage, a lot of companies are focusing on building some really crazy technology with blockchain, building their own blockchain, and it's a very difficult process. It's going to be lengthy, it's going to be costly, and it might not work at the end of the day. But for us, is we've identified a core problem that exists today, a big market opportunity, and we can help billions of people around the world. And it's a very easy fix on our end because we can add the blockchain layer to what currently exists today, make it more efficient, and already be helping people in less than a year. And so that's the approach that we're taking right now. Is we're going to do it simple, but we're going to fix a huge problem that exists today, and we're going to make everyone's life better.
Right on. Yeah, it's just an inevitable way that the world is going to move, like the blockchainization of, say, peer-to-peer transactions or business-to-peer transactions. It's just, you need lower fees, you need instant times, and it seems like Storm Token is doing a really fantastic job of this. And, although you say there are competitors, I feel the gamification and like giving those level up incentives really does add that extra oomph to
Yeah.
set Storm ahead of the curve. So then moving back, the action loops is part of that system. Can you expand a little bit on the action loops and what those mean and how they work?
Yeah, so it's a little bit going back to the repeat model, leveling up, and the action loop is to ensure that people keep coming back and they're encouraged to continue to do more tasks. So instead of like a one-time thing, I'm bored because I needed $5 or $100, it all becomes all about the experience. So going back, oh, I enjoyed this so much. I don't really care about the $100 I just got helping someone as a developer. I want to come back because I want to level up. I want to
Hmm.
go through this experience and journey again. So the action loops facilitate user retention rate as well as the platform continuing to grow because we have more people that are offering their services all around the world. And so there's always going to be a chicken and egg problem with all marketplaces. There's a supply side and demand side. And the action loops are, I think, something that not a lot of companies have put a lot of thought into, but we put a serious emphasis into how exactly we're going to motivate the 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 workers to come back and offer their services because without the workers there will be no jobs, and the same thing with no users, there's nothing. So in order to facilitate people's experiences and so that, yeah, so I think I explained it already, so
Yeah, for sure. You nailed it. Thanks, Simon. So you guys have like a really strong team that you mentioned, three of the members there, but you also have a few partnerships going on right now with Jax and Bancor. Can you talk a little about those partnerships and what they mean for Storm Token?
Yeah, exactly. So again, this is going back to, we don't want to build everything. We want to fix a current problem that's broken. And there is some excellent partners out there who can help us really be able to make Storm Token mainstream and usable anywhere. So we announced a partnership with Jax, which Anthony is also an advisor of ours. Um, and Bancor, but this will allow users to freely be able to acquire Storm tokens and be able to do whatever they want to. And so the more platforms that we continue to make available for our users, the more freedom and power the users have in order to choose what they can. Because I think a lot of the problems with cryptocurrency today is there's not a lot of places you can use it. And so the fact that we have an enormous wallet company supporting our project, and also Bancor, who's focusing on user experience for allowing the flexibility of tokens and being able to transfer, will be huge partnerships that will allow users to just acquire Storm tokens and be able to use and spend freely without much hassle. So
Right. So on a really tangible level, what would you say the benefit to having Bancor, or like what tangible thing would Bancor bring to the table to evolve Storm token, for example?
yeah, so for us, it's about market awareness. Bancor has a huge awareness in the market. They actually, their team is very solid. We've been very close with their founding members for quite a few months now, and they're focused on UX. And little do people realize that it's only been a few months since they did their crowd sale. So when they actually launch their full platform, it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be very user experience focused. Anyone can just go on and be able to just transact with all their tokens in their ecosystem and just be able to freely do whatever they want to. But for us, it's like, hey, it's like if I'm selling an Xbox, for example, and I'm a business, don't you want it to be in Walmart and Costco and GameStop and Amazon and all these companies as well? So then you get exposure to all of the different audiences. The same thing with us. Like we have some amazing exposure through Jax, we have some amazing through Bancor, and we're constantly looking for partners who we can collaborate with so we can build each other's network, because the blockchain space is still very small. I think that having more partnerships is going to help the ecosystem in general. So.
Definitely, yeah. So the Bancor is going to give you a lot of exposure, as well as Jax. And on top of that, Jax is also going to be giving you guys ease of investment. Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so we'll actually be the first token that you can participate in the crowd sale using a Jax wallet. So it's a pretty exciting opportunity. And this is just going back to user experience again. For most people, when they try to participate in a crowd sale through MyEther wallet, it's very confusing because you have to set up your private key and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden you have to send your wallet address. And then even after you send it, if you don't read the instructions clearly, like if you don't know how to add the token symbol with the decimal points, then it's going to set 0 and people are going to start freaking out. And yeah, we've seen this happen multiple times. I even friends that are very technology savvy, they're like, what's going on? I just put in like $10,000 for a crowd sale and I have 0. And like, no, you have to add a decimal points.
Yeah.
Like, oh, now I feel better. Okay, I see it now. This is crazy, but it took like an hour to explain that process. But for Jax, all you'll have to do is send it from a Jax wallet, and it'll already be preloaded because we're issuing out our tokens immediately. It won't be tradable or transferable until the end of the crowd sale, but you'll still see it in your wallet.
So it'll be locked in Jax rather where then they can take it out and say throw it on Ether Delta. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
in Jax, though, however, you don't have to worry about decimal points. You don't have to worry about storing your private key or anything, because it's already set up for you. All you have to do is just send the payment, and then that's it. And it'll just be preloaded on your wallet once you're in the crowd sale. So it's an amazing user experience.
Right on. Nice. And speaking of your guys' crowd sale, it's coming up in, what is it now, 4 or 5 days?
November 7th.
Right on. And so what will that look like? It seems like you guys are going for 4 billion tokens, 4.2 billion. That's what you're selling?
Yeah, so November 7th. So we actually are doing a registration process. So by November 5th, that's when we'll cut off the registration. You do have to submit some identity, just so we are 100% sure we're not taking in funds from illegal funds or anything like that. So our team is all about the long run, and so we're doing our due diligence and making sure that we do all the processes right. So yeah, it's a very exciting crowd sale, November 7th, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Registration cuts off November 5th, 6 a.m. Pacific time. But we do have The first round, that's going to be a community appreciation round, which the earlier members have first access, and the public crowd sale starts right afterwards. So stay tuned. Our website is stormtoken.com, and you can follow the latest updates there too.
Right on. And so to get onto the community appreciation round, head to the website, sign up, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And then just to get a few more details on the ICO, how much is a Storm token going for, let's say in US dollars for a frame of reference?
Yeah, so 1 ETH equals 26,950 Storm. So it's roughly around a penny. And so
Okay.
there's actually, so we're issuing 10 billion tokens, all including the entire supply. And so some of the most frequent questions we get asked are, why are you creating so many tokens? And it's actually a good question, but I think the speculators focus on market cap. So at the end of the day, as long as the market cap reflects the number of tokens, it's okay. The number of tokens doesn't really matter. But for us, this is actually going back to the gamification portion. So the user experience that we've learned over the past 3 years, especially with Bitcoin, when we started, it was about like $200, and now it's like $6,500, right? So when you go through this experience, the rewards that people were getting, it was like 0.005 Bitcoin, and now it's like 0.0000005 Bitcoin, or even Ether because it's at 300. It's like 0.0000.
It feels much better to get one of something than an infinitely small decimal of something.
Exactly. So there's actually a proven psychology with game mechanics regarding this as well too. So if you look at some of the popular games like Clash of Clans, like Angry Birds, or all these things, they create their own tokens that's like diamonds or gold or whatever they are, and different apps of currency, but it's solid numbers. And to the human mind, it makes much more sense if you're receiving like 500 Storm versus 0.00005 Storm.
Yeah, exactly. And I couldn't agree more about the market cap thing. This is one of the biggest misconceptions out there right now. You know, they're like, well, why is Ripple only 20 cents? But how is it worth so much? And so this is like such a big misconception that, yeah, the market cap is really what is valuable. So with that being said, with let's say you guys do sell out your ICO at your last tier token price, what would that put you at a market cap of?
So I can't talk about the secondary exchange portions of it. So
okay, all right, but it's going to be 4.2 billion tokens at around a penny each, right? And that's the total supply, 4.2 billion.
Yeah. So we did do an institution round before. So the total crowd sale is 65%, so 6.5 million. So.
Okay. All right. Right on. So then everyone else can do the math themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on, Simon. Well, this has been awesome. Thanks so much for coming on. It's been great to chat with you.
Yeah. Thanks so much for your time, Jeff. Appreciate it.
Definitely. Wish you the best in the crowd sale.
All right. Thanks so much. All right. Bye.
Yeah.